Screech by Taran NCT on AO3. Episode 16, Chapter 17. If you're gonna watch me with this, you are legally obligated to scratch my back whenever I want. Understood? Izuku commanded Keigo as he walked in from the patio after flying in. Izuku was currently laying on the floor, wiggling like a dog trying to scratch his own back, and being wholly unsuccessful. Baby bird, have some dignity. Keigo squawked and pulled him up to his feet, turned him round, and started scratching. Tell me where. After Keigo finally got that inclusive itch taken care of, the two sat up on the couch, where the TV was already turned on to the pre-show commercials. So, Owlette, if I wanted to porch a student for my intern, who do you think I should be watching? Keigo asked. Izuku thought for a moment. Ashido and Kaminari would mesh with your personality the best. They're both meme-loving gossips. You'll love them. On the surface, Kirishima would get along with you really well too, but his constant talk about hard work and being manly would get on your nerves pretty quick. Izuku hummed again. Uraraka would love the opportunity to work with you, but there's really nothing you can offer her except for exposure, so... He nodded and started scratching at his arms, muttering about stupid molting season. So even if she impresses you, don't send her an offer. Keigo nodded along and ruffled his hair. Okay, so I'm mainly watching for Ashido and Kaminari. Izuku paused in his scratching and tilted his head. No, now that I think about it, your styles are too different. You'd get along like a house on fire, but Kaminari should probably be with Hizashi, and Ashido would do best with someone who fights either close combat or mid-range. Hey, I can fight up close. Keigo defended himself. Yeah, I know, but that's not your preferred method of fighting. Izuku shrugged. Oh, it's starting. Shouta's supposed to be commentating with Hizashi, so this is gonna be amazing. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to the annual UA Sports Festival. I'll be your host today for this fine event. I'm Present Mike. With me in the booth is my co-host, Eraserhead. Say hello, Eraser. No, came Shota's bland answer. Izuku giggled as Hizashi tried to coax a better greeting out of Shouta and failed miserably. Sometimes I find it hard to believe those two are in a loving marriage. Keigo joked. Izuku laughed at that. Shouta really does act as it, though. He can't stand Hizashi when they're in public, but you should see them when they're relaxing after a long week. Shouta is a total cuddle bug. Rarely leaves Hisashi's side on weekends. They're couple goals. Damn, I wish I had someone like that. Same. The two were quiet for a while as the classes were introduced, and the Momo took the stage for the student pledge. I thought the person who took first place on the entrance exam did the student pledge. Keigo said. This year's first place student is stuck at home molting. Izuku asked, smacking Keigo on the arm. Oh, yeah, what about second place? Expelled? Keigo raised an eyebrow. Third? Izuku shrugged. I'm not sure who third place was, but the class representative is a good choice. Momo will embarrass the class. Momo's speech finished up, and Midnight announced that the first event was an obstacle course. Wanna place bets on who's gonna win this? Keigo asked. Izuku shook his head. I'll bet on Hitoshi no matter what. He's my brother after all. Then why not bet on him? Keigo asked as the students started the course. He's not likely going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws the whole festival. He doesn't want to attract any attention, and Shota's already said he was going to offer me and Toshi internships, so there's no one for Toshi to impress. The two fell silent for a little while, before Keigo sat up straighter, noticing something on the television. Oh, who's that? Keigo asked, pointing to a girl with chin-length silver hair. She was attacking the robots with pieces of scrap metal that she was controlling kinetically. She's long range. I could work with that. Izuku shrugged. She's in 1B, but I'm not too sure what her name is. Yana something, I think? Keigo wrote down in a notebook his observations. I think I'm gonna send her an offer. Izuku shrugged. Okay. Who's the kid with the scales? That's pretty cool, too. Why are you asking about so many 1B students? I don't know anything about them. Izuku whined, before trying to scratch his shoulder. That does look like a good offense/defense quirk, though. Keigo gasped excitedly and started shaking Izuku frantically. Suku! He's a bird! Who's that? Tell me he's in your class. I need the bird boy. He scribbled in his notebook, and Izuku could see that he had just written bird boy. Izuku snorted. That's Tokoyami Fugagi. That bird head is just a mutation. His quirk isn't bird-related at all. His quirk is a sentient shadow that he calls Dark Shadow. Dark Shadow does usually look like a bird, but I think she only looks like that because Tokoyami has a bird head. She usually purrs and acts more like a cat. I still want him. Tell him I want him. Keigo insisted. I'm sure he'll notice when he gets your internship offer. Don't care. Tell him anyways. Izuku snorted at that, right before he turned his back to Keigo and started using his arm as a scratch post. I hate molding season, Izuku hissed. By the time the two had turned back into the event, Shouta was freezing a path through the minefield, while other students were setting the mines off in a shower of pink smoke and glitter. Wait, did we miss the middle? I blame you. Izuku hit Keigo on the arm. Oh, hey, it's not my fault. Keigo defended himself. Shouta had gotten first place, and his lead was a lot bigger than he had expected it to be. But the 1B girl with the vines for hair came in second place. Shouta kept watching the leaderboard, wondering what place Hitoshi would be, if he was even going to bother with moving on to the next event. A few minutes later, Hitoshi's name came on the leaderboard in 41st place, right in front of Ayamama. And with that, our 42 students are moving on to the second event that has been chosen. Pressing Mike's voice called out. Shouta smiled softly at Hitoshi's offended face as he came up to him. I thought for sure they would only move on the top 40. Now I have to put in actual effort. You don't have to, love. You could still throw the next match. Hitoshi shook his head. No, I'll throw an event for myself, but you know as well as I do, the second event is always all about teamwork. I don't want to sabotage an entire group just because I didn't want to move on. In that case, would you like to be on the same team as me? Shouta asked. Sure. Hitoshi looked around for other people who would make a good team. Izuku's not here. He'll be great for our team. Kaminari pranced up to the two and grinned. I heard you say Izuku. How is he? Hitoshi smirked. If you join our team for the next event, I'll tell you. He offered and laughed as Kaminari's face lit up. I'm in. Great, we'll probably need one more. Sho, go see if you could snag Momo. Shouta hummed agreement and went to find Momo as Hitoshi turned to Kaminari. Izu's miserable. He's molting. Do you know what that is? He asked. I think so. Kaminari hedged. He's losing feathers, right? Yeah, and the process sucks for him more than other Albions due to how his wings are retractable. He's got a fever, he's super itchy, and he's moody. He's been wearing like 4 sweaters because he's cold. Kaminari winced. Would it be okay if I came to visit, say hi? His cheeks blushed slightly. Oh, you are precious. Hitoshi murmured. You know Izuku's totally oblivious, right? You're gonna have to outright say, hey Izu, I like you, for him to realize that you've been flirting with him for weeks. Kaminari grinned and scratched the back of his head. So, I was being obvious, as I thought I was. Yeah, so obvious, me and Shouta have been trying to clue him in, but he's totally clueless. Hitoshi thought for a moment. I'll ask my dad if he could come over. If he says yes, then I'm gonna be expecting you to flout out tell Izuku you like him. Kaminari laughed. Alright, I can do that. Shouta came back with Momo just a few moments before midnight announced the next event. Huh, Izuku murmured. I didn't think Toshi was going to bother with the second event. Keigo looked up at the TV from where he was scratching Izuku's back. So, you still don't want to make bets on who's gonna win? Nope. He watched the groups get all set up. They'll have all sorts of mixtures in there, Izuku murmured, seeing a girl from support mixed with Uraraka, a girl with vines from hair 1B and Ida. Keigo got up and wandered into the kitchen. You hungry, Arlette? Izuku hummed as he got up to join Keigo to look for something to either eat or make, keeping an ear open for the cavalry battle. I think we have some chicken in here? Izuku opened the fridge and started looking through the leftovers. Might not be enough for both of us, though. How about we run to pick something up? Keigo suggests. You up for a quick outing? Izuku shook his head. If you want to go run and grab something, that's cool, but it's cold today, and I already look like a mess in my 4 sweaters. Keigo laughed. At least they're all your sweaters. Izuku grinned. One of them is. The one at the bottom. Then I have one of Toshi's, followed by Hisashi's, and then this one is Shouta's. Keigo just shook his head. I don't feel like leaving you alone, so how about we just order out? Sure. As Keigo called in an order for delivery, Izuku glanced back at the television to see the places. Toshi's team had lost their 10 million points, but were still in first place. It looked as though the other teams were still fighting over the headband that was on the ground, frozen in a block of ice. Smart, Izuku observed. If I didn't know that Endeavor wanted him, I'd totally offer him an internship, Keigo said. Sho would rather go with another hero, but no other fire user was willing to stand up against Endeavor, and Sho already said he was going to intern with a fire user. Toshi's team finished as the second event in first place, and the students all took a break for lunch. Conveniently, the food Keigo had ordered arrived about the same time, so they sat on the floor near the patio to eat. Izuku yawned shortly after they had finished eating. Have I mentioned how much I hate this? Come here, baby bird. You could take a nap with me. Keigo huffed out in amusement. Growing feathers takes a lot of energy. Izuku was in such a deep sleep that he hadn't so much as stirred when Keigo tried to wake him up for the 1v1 matches, so Keigo let him sleep through it. The older bird fell asleep right after Shouta defeated Tokoyami for first place. The two of them didn't wake up until the others had returned home, Keigo blinking awake, and Izuku waking with a loud hiss. And that, Shouta said to Hitoshi, gesturing to Izuku, is why I said no to Kaminari coming over. Alright, I like how we missed the 1v1 matches. Oh my god, I know I am dreading having to write those. Like, I'm trying to, just, can I skip over them? Can I just say who wins and call it a day? Y'all can, use your imagination. I'm not gonna do it for Fluffy Mind, because Fluffy Mind is my baby, but probably other fanfictions, I'm gonna write an excuse to not write that, because hell to the fucking no. I don't want to do that. Echo Bro, you could come in. I don't... I saw him, he was standing at the door, like a lost puppy. Where's Storm?
He's in the kitchen.
He's in the kitchen? Okay, cause...
Yeah, he's looking at the pot of beans that's cooking. Really... mischievous intent.
Don't let him eat that. There's plants in there that I don't know if it's poisonous for him.
It's also still cooking.
It's still cooking. It's hot, so don't let him eat that. There's also onion and other stuff that I'm not so sure if cats can eat. In fact, I'm not even sure cats can eat beans. Take those shoes off. Those are mine. Those are mine. No, you're gonna give me fungus. Get out.
I don't even have fungus.
Yes, you have.
What?
Actually, look, I have fungus. No, I'm joking. What I have is the after effects of blisters. Oh, no, not this, but I'm gonna give you blisters if you touch my feet.
Do you know what I think about
Get blisters!
Do you know what I think about you having blisters? I need to get really close to the microphone for this one. You know what I think about you having blisters?
Womp womp!
Exactly!
Get out!
Exactly.
Get out! Get out! Get out! I need to do my outro. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.